Hey, welcome back to another episode of Cinephiles. I'm just going to jump straight in it. I'm back, and I'm excited to be talking more movie stuff. After a brief hiatus, recovering from my injury, I'm still in pain, but we're going to power through it and make a video. So here we go. Today's video is going to be about a film that I have had an affection for some time, and I hadn't watched it in years. Watched it again last night and again this morning, and I just have to say that I just can't get over how good I think the film is. And that film is The Pelican Brief, starring Denzel Washington and Julia Roberts, based on the book by John Grisham, who many of you know wrote The Firm, which was also made into a film, the Tom Cruise vehicle film, and a whole bunch of other stuff going on. So let's talk about this film, The Pelican Brief. This one's not going to be so much a review as it is just sort of a conversation about my admiration for this film. But I'll get into the plot a little bit. So if you don't know about The Pelican Brief, it's about it's a thriller, slow burn thriller, wherein Julia Roberts plays a young law student named Darby. I forget her last name, but she's a young law student who is quite curious and very smart. And when two Supreme Court justices are murdered, she comes up with a theory over who did it and why. She writes a brief, shows it to her professor slash boyfriend, who is taken with the brief and shows it to his friend who works for the government, FBI or CIA, I can't remember which government agency he works for. And then the brief is passed around to various members. Turns out the brief freaks a lot of people out, and people start dying over the possibility that the brief could be true. And that's where we are. So soon, Darby Shaw, the young student, finds herself on the run. She turns to Denzel Washington's character, Gray. She finds Denzel Washington's character, and the two strike a dynamic, a relationship born out of the need to get the truth out, and also the need to stay safe. Because as soon as Denzel Washington's character gets into the mix, he also is threatened. And come to find out, the White House or those who affiliated with the White House is not, they're not playing around. They're very serious about this brief. They want it to not see the light of day. If it means taking people out to do that and protect certain interests, that's what they're going to do. And that's what we have. That's what the story essentially is about. As a film, it is just well plotted. The suspense is very well executed. It's very tightly wound. You're on the edge of your seat the whole time. Again, I've seen this film a few times now recently, like in the last couple days, or a day and a half or whatever it is, and it still keeps me riveted. I'm just people are gonna watch out. It's an exciting watch. But more than that, what's more exciting, I think, is the chemistry between Denzel Washington and Julia Roberts. It just oozes off the screen. Their sparks, it explodes everywhere. And I think the greatest thing about this film, I think, is the fact that you have two people who are obviously attractive, super charming, can carry scenes and films, a whole film, by themselves without saying anything, with a subtle look, a glance, a gesture, and it's amazing. But when they're together, it's a whole other kind of alchemy that is lightning in a bottle, that kind of situation. And it's a wonder that they've only done that one film. It is and it's not. I'm actually kind of glad that you have that one film that demonstrates their prowess and their gangsterness as actors. And also, that film shows sort of authenticity of the characters. It's just well done. This is a thriller, so there's no real sort of love story to speak of. As if I understand there are people who would have wanted that from this film. I remember watching a review a long time ago when I was about a kid. I was 15 years old or so, and I watched a review on TV. This woman who was a film critic, and she talked about the Pelican Brief, how it was a great movie, but she was disappointed that Denzel and Julia, two supremely attractive individuals, this is what she's talking about, two supremely attractive individuals who do not that the film does not capitalize on their attractiveness. The film does not show them being intimate physically with each other. There's no real love story to speak of between the two of them, and that is a letdown, at least according to that critic. Now, I personally like that there's no real love story to speak of between them, but there is. It's clear that there's something between them, and I think that and that's enough. I think it's enough to have a story between two characters of the opposite sex. They have work to do, and they obviously respect each other, and but it takes time for them to get to that place. Because it's serious things are happening in the film. Like, people are dying. It's very serious, and so there really isn't time realistically to be thinking about how attractive someone is. But they don't go there, and I think that's great, because you've seen that movie before. That's expected. I think in most films where you have two A-list actors who are both charming and attractive, you expect at some point there's going to be some sort of physical encounter, and they don't do that here, and I think that's great. And in fact, a lot of things are conveyed very intimately, very subtly between the two of them, whispers and sort of, in intimate moments where it's just the two of them in a room talking, and it's very beautiful in that way, and that is where it goes, and that's as far as it goes. But it's clear by the end of the film, the two have a mutual affection for each other and a respect, and you still get some of the feel-y things that you would get in. I think for me, I feel as if it's almost like they have something more or something other than what they have. You don't have to have crazy makeout sessions and do all that kind of stuff in fact, I think it almost works better without that. Like, there's a sequence at the very end of the film when they are separating, and Denzel, they do the, hug or whatever it is, little peck on the cheek, whatever it is. There's a sequence when Denzel is standing and he's watching her walk away, and she turns, and the wind is blowing, and it cuts back to him, and everything's blowing. It's for me, that's like one of the, that's the icing on the cake right there. And it's at the end of the film. It punctuates all their journey that they had together, everything they went through, everything they survived, and then it culminates when she runs back to him and they embrace. It's a powerful embrace. It's like they survived it, and they have a new sort of kindred. They have a kindred spirit in each other, and one that I think sort of in my headcanon, beyond the story of the film, my headcanon tells me that they're still connected, even though they don't live in the same country anymore. And who knows? Perhaps Gray goes to visit every now and again, or whatever. I don't know. Until the sort of craziness of all the political stuff dies down, or whatever it is. Maybe she'll come back home to the States, whatever it is. But it's a great film. Anyway, that's my thoughts. Pelican Brief, amazing film. I'll give it. It's easily like a 10. It's a 10 for sure. 10. Just on the suspense factor alone, and then when you have the caliber of actors that you have in Denzel Washington and Julia Roberts, that just elevates it to the stratosphere, really. So whatever that looks like, Pelican Brief is an amazing film. Also, you have also sound support. John Lithgow is amazing. Sam Shepard. You got all these people who are, Robert Culp. Great actors. and it just really does a good job with the story it's telling, and it really feels like a one to watch. So I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. And if for nothing else, watch for Denzel and Julia. They're amazing together on screen. The other thing I have to say as a side note is that, and this is just my part of my affection and sort of fascination with the awesomeness of Denzel Washington. The man has the best walk, the best on-screen walk. He just that's his normal walk. I love that his walk is so smooth. It's like I don't know of any other actor out there right now who has a walk as smooth as Denzel. Samuel Jackson is a close second, but Denzel, that man, yeah. Anyway, Pelican Brief, check it out. It's awesome. In fact, right after this video, I might watch certain scenes again, just because I love the movie that much. But and that's all for me for now. Thank you for watching this video, taking the time to watch the video, and stay tuned. I'll be back with some more stuff coming up. Have a good day. All right.